How to retire in 7 years starting from zero. They told you that retirement takes 40 years, but what if you were off, completely financially free by 33? Because if you have nothing right now, if you're starting from scratch right now, this video can still have you retiring in just 7 years. Let me tell you where this started for me. I was 5 years into my corporate job, a career that I had worked my entire life for. I was making a six-figure income, I had a nice house on a golf course, I had good benefits, I was doing everything quote unquote right. My friends, I felt trapped. Every promotion came with more pressure, more strings attached, more travel, more time away from my wife and kids. And over time, I started to trade little pieces of my life until I didn't even recognize my life anymore. And I kept telling myself that one day I'll have enough money to buy my life back. But then my life came crashing down. My oldest son needed an emergency open heart surgery. And when I got that call from my wife, I didn't even live in the same state as my family. That moment, it completely shattered me, not just as a dad, but as a man. I realized, what's the point of working this hard if I can't be where it matters most, with my family, the people I said I was working for? As I sat with my son in the hospital over the 2 weeks as he recovered from open heart surgery, I felt like he was given a second chance at life. And more importantly, my friends, I felt like I was given a second chance to be his father, to be the father that I had always envisioned to be the husband that I promised my wife I would be 5 years ago, to be the man that was there when my family needed him the most. And that's when I said, never again. Never again would I trade what mattered most for what mattered least. I had to build something different with my life, which meant I had to build something different with my money. A system that gave me my time back, not just a hope for a distant future when I was old and gray and nothing mattered anymore anyway. That system is the system that I'm going to share with you right now. First off, let's get one thing clear. Retirement, it's not an age, it's a cash flow number. If your passive income is greater than your expenses, then my friends, you're free. Essentially, you're retired, period. That's all it takes. You don't need to wait until you're 65. I don't know who made up that number to begin with. And most people could hit that number where their cash flow exceeds their expenses in as little as 7 years. Believe me, I've seen it 1,000 times or more inside of our community. But the first thing is you have to stop following Wall Street's broken plan. So forget 401ks, forget net worth goals, forget someday. Your new goal is simple. Buy back your time by building a system that pays you every single month, whether you work or not. Let's walk through the exact path to make that happen right now. Year one is about stability and stacking cash. This is where you build your foundation. Here's your checklist. Track every dollar that comes into your personal economy. This is a dollar that you've already traded your time for, and it's a soldier to buy your time back. Get your savings rate to 10, 20, 30, up to 50% if possible. Yes, it's possible. Now, you might have to make more money to do it, but get your savings rate to a minimum of 20%, and the faster you can get to 50%, the faster you achieve financial freedom. Eliminate consumer debt. Stack $10,000 to $30,000 of cash and use that cash to fund a vault. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what the heck is a vault? Now, my friends, it's not a savings account, it's not a Roth IRA, and it's not some vault you're gonna go buy at Home Depot. It's an overfunded whole life insurance policy. Built for liquidity, for safety, and most importantly, built for leverage. All of the money that you put in this account, it grows completely tax-free. In fact, it's a tax strategy that the wealthy have used for generations. It earns compounding interest, and it gives you a private line of credit so you can start using your money without losing control of it. This becomes your financial foundation, your financial HQ. I remember when I hit my very first $25,000 savings inside of my vault. I felt unstoppable because now I didn't just have money, I had options. This brings me to step number 2, buying your first cash flowing asset. In years 2 to 3, you're gonna use the capital that you've stored and grown inside of your vault to buy real assets. For me, it was single family rentals. Simple, stable, boring homes in the Midwest that cash flow anywhere between $300 to $500 a month. Here's how it works. Number 1, borrow $20,000 to $40,000 from your vault line of credit. Now, what this does is it keeps your money compounding and growing inside of your vault, and now that $20,000 to $40,000 is working in another asset. Bada bing, bada boom, your money is working in 2 assets at the very same time. Use that policy loan to be a 20% down payment on a property anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000. Step number 3, make sure you have a property with a quality property manager because they're gonna handle everything. Step number 4, the rent covers the mortgage on the property, the expenses on the property, and it starts paying you a monthly profit that you're going to use to repay your vault policy policy loan. That's step number 5. Let me tell you about my very first deal. I bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Memphis, Tennessee. It cash flowed around $350 a month. Now, my friends, that's not a huge win, but I want you to understand this. That was my first win. That asset started paying me over a decade ago every single month, consistent income. And guess what? It's still paying me today. And I started to use that cash flow coming in from my real estate to pay off my policy loan. And as I saw my vault policy loan balance replenish, something clicked for me. I realized I had just made money while I was sleeping. I wasn't just working for money anymore. I was now having money work for me. I didn't go from working harder. I went from working harder to actually working smarter. And that, my friends, that's the key to financial freedom in this economy. This brings me to step number 3 on your pursuit of financial freedom in just 7 years. Step number 3 is scaling with velocity. Because now we're gonna get to the fun part, which is scale. Between years 4 to 6, these years are about momentum. You're repeating the process, but every time you repeat the process, it starts to go faster. Here's how that plays out. Your rental income pays off your vault loans, your vault gets replenished, you borrow again to buy your next property. Now you have 2 rentals paying off your vault policy loan twice as fast. And you repeat this over and over and over again. I call this dual compounding. Your money is working in 2 assets, and now you have 2 homes paying off your vault line of credit. The entire process rolls like a snowball. It speeds up with every rotation that you give it. Money growing in the vault and assets growing on the street, cash flowing every single month. For me, by property number 5, my vault was practically on autopilot. By property number 10, I didn't need my job anymore. And by property number 17, I was completely financially free, and I said, peace out. I walked away from the corporate world forever, all by repeating one process over and over and over again. No flipping, no speculation, no gambling on growth, just boring, predictable income that bought my life back. Now, this is the path that I followed over a decade ago, but here's the crazy part, my friends. I still own every one of those assets, plus several more now. But now, over a decade later, they've allowed me to increase the quality of my life, allowed me to own and control my time, allowed me to spend more money every single month as my desire to travel more and spend more time with my family has increased. This is the game. Build a system that pays you for life. This brings me to step number 4, hitting your strike number. Now comes the most important part in your journey, in your plan. It's called your strike number. This is the amount of income that you actually need monthly to walk away confidently. For me, back in the day, I had a 6-figure job. I thought I needed big piles of cash to walk away from a 6-figure salary. But that's not actually the case. I want you to consider this. Let's say that your strike number is $6,000 a month. Now, how did we get to $6,000 a month? It more than likely means you're on gross making $10,000 a month, but after taxes, after savings, after expenses associated with your job, you probably only have about $6,000 of net spendable income that's yours. What this means is if each property that you acquire brings in $500 a month, you only need 12 properties. That's it, my friends. Now imagine this, 12 properties managed by someone else, each one being paid off by renters, your vault still compounding and growing completely tax-free, and you waking up every single day with a simple truth. I don't have to work today. My friends, financial freedom is really a game of options. When you own your time, you have more options. Options to say yes to the things you want to say yes to, and sometimes more importantly, options to say no to the boss, to the late nights, to the financial stress, all the things that are holding you back right now. That's freedom. Freedom is options, and options are produced by cash flow. Look, I get it. Starting from zero, it can feel overwhelming, but you're not stuck. You're not behind. You've just been playing the wrong game. This system, the system I shared with you in this video, it works. The only question is, are you going to let it work for you? It's worked for me, it's working for our clients, and if you follow it, I promise you, my friends, it will work for you too, because it's based on sound economic principles. Real estate always goes up in value. Single-family homes are always in demand. Life insurance policies done the right way are permanent contracts backed by the companies who've made these contracts work for hundreds of years. When you align your money with these economic rules, you win. You don't need millions, you don't need 40 years, you just need a clear plan and the courage to execute. So now let me show you the next piece of the plan, how to make every dollar do the work of 2. This is where I'm gonna break down exactly how the vault lets you grow your money and use it at the very same time. No trade-offs, no waiting, no taxes. Click that video right here and let's collapse time together.